Today's episode is brought to you by Taft Law and its Franchise Advance program, a one-of-a-kind program developed by your host, Josh Brown, to help entrepreneurs assess, convert, and grow your business the right way through sound franchise structures. To learn more, go to taftlaw.com and type Franchise Advance Program in the search bar.
If you think like, act like, or are trying to grow like a franchise, then the Franchise Euphoria podcast is for you. Hello and welcome, everybody. Josh Brown here, and I created this podcast for one main goal: to help people who are trying to grow their business through franchising or franchise-like structures to do it the right way. I've been practicing law now as a franchise lawyer for many, many years, and I've seen it done the right way and the wrong way. And this podcast is not filled with a bunch of legal mumbo jumbo. Rather, I talk with real people, people who have been there, have done it, are doing it right now. And I also dive deep into specific topics related to franchising. So if this is of interest to you, you are at the right place. Enjoy.
Hello, Michael. Welcome to Franchise Euphoria. How you doing?
Hey, Josh. I'm great. Happy to be here. Thank you for having us on this afternoon.
Well, I'm looking forward to this conversation. I'm a sports guy myself. Grew up playing sports, love sports, and you and your wife are the founders of My Backyard Sports, which is a full-service design and installation company and franchise. So I want to hear all about that company. Take a second, if you would, at the outset, to just tell us, what is My Backyard Sports?
So My Backyard Sports is a specialty sports services company. We focus on designing, building, and installing sports services in homes, backyards, driveways, schools, and communities. And really the goal is to install higher quality materials, higher quality basketball hoops, commercial grade, that you cannot buy at the big box retailers, and do it on the local level in the home. But more than just installing the sports equipment, what we're looking to design and build it in such a way that it emulates what the children see at school. It becomes a destination, a place for families to bond, and a place for kids to really gain confidence and have a safe place to play at home. For families, it could become a statement piece about their home. It may be the most fun room and nicest room in the house, and it's generally outside. And really what we want to do through My Backyard Sports is share sports, deliver happiness, and create memories. So instead of purchasing a basketball hoop, for example, we're looking to deliver an experience. So to us, every hoop we install, we customize with the person's last name. So it looks arena style. We put a big red ribbon on it. And we want this to be super special for the family and for the children.
Do you and your wife have design background or installation background, or what was the background leading up to this business?
Well, I think the background leading up to this is that when I was 10 years old, growing up in Brooklyn, New York, I would go into my backyard and pretend to be Michael Jordan. And in Brooklyn and in most cities, you don't have much space. So as soon as I moved to the suburbs, all I ever really wanted was a flat driveway and a flat backyard, really just to play sports. My cousins had that in the suburbs of Manhattan growing up, and I wanted the same as soon as we left Manhattan and moved out there. And once we arrived in the suburbs, we couldn't really find a company that could do what we were looking for. So while we didn't have 100% design background, we had some design background, but we had a strong background in computers, technology workflow, leveraging technology to be more efficient, more effective, and leveraging technology to deliver a better customer experience. So we decided to create a vertical just on sports. We're the only national franchise in the country that does this. And really just a handful of companies that does this, but we're really the only one that has core values, a brand promise, really focusing on that customer experience. We're not just installing a hoop, we're installing a hoop that's going to be special for a family member, for a child, for a gift from a parent to a child, to a family member, to a child, and the significance of that gift.
Now, it sounds like it's largely residential, but also I think you mentioned you guys do it on the commercial side as well.
We chose to focus on the residential space because we felt that this would be a great place for kids to really just play and gain that experience. And we didn't see it being done on the local level, and every backyard is unique. So we're really able to go in there and design and build over 30 different sports, and every town has different requirements, and every property may be sloped or have different elevation or drainage requirements or type of soil. And we've been able to go in there and build different applications for sports, from asphalt to concrete to something we specialize in called less invasive construction, which is softer on the knees and back. It's easier to build and install, and it's generally more permit friendly than traditional building.
So what's the technology? I know you've mentioned a little bit, you have a technology background. Talk to me about how you've infused technology with this concept.
So we're able to really focus on telling our story online, who we are, what we do, our core values, which really guide who we are, which spell the word sports, our brand promise. We can really lay out what the customers can expect to work with us. But throughout the whole process, from our CRM to our immediate responses to the customer, to a consultative approach, to the whole process from how do we look at your property, from the satellite to, on-site visits, to creating drawings and renderings to really explain what we're doing, how we're doing it, and why we're doing it. So we are all working together on the same page. And then from there, we move into workflow software where everything's laid out. So our team knows exactly what they're doing, where they're going, and online, we're able to see what's happening and get updates from our customer in real time, which really drives the process. Traditionally, construction and contractors may overpromise and underdeliver. We're looking to, live in a world or build a world where we're saying what we're going to do, when we're going to do it, be transparent, and manage expectations for the customer of what we're going to deliver. And it's been a really positive experience. Every court we build becomes a showroom for our property and a statement piece and a sense of pride, and hopefully a place for happiness for their family, that once someone sees our court, they say, I really would like to have a court like that as well.
Yeah, it almost like it sells itself, right? I mean, you do it, you build it, people come over, and it's like, who did this? And, it just sells itself.
Yeah, I do want to stress that you don't have to have a lot of room or the perfect space to build a sports experience. Sports experience is unique to each property, and we have sports experiences that range in price from something very basic to something more elaborate. It really depends what the goals of the family and the child are.
I'm just, as you're sitting here talking, the thing that keeps coming to mind is, what's the most creative project you guys have done to date that you've done? I mean, it seems to me like you said over 30 different sports. I mean, I'm sure there's golf, there's basketball, there's football components. I mean, what's some of the creative projects that come to mind for you?
Sure. Creative could be defined in, slightly different ways. There's creative presentation where we have a family member, usually a child, come home from camp, and they don't know that a court is being built or an experience is being laid out for them. So we'll install a basketball hoop, put their last name on it, and let's say two-tone colors on a black pole pad, put a big giant red ribbon on it, paint lines, drop maybe the school logo on it for the town.
How cool is that?
It's basically trying to bring the stadium experience, to their home. It's amazing. And then we put a sign outside that says training facility for the last name of that child. And in this case, it could be, training facility for Brown, powered by My Backyard Sports. So when they drive up and see it, it's not just a possession. It's not just a product. Now it's an experience. It's a memory. It's something the children will always remember. I know for myself growing up, a couple of the best gifts I got, and, fortunately I came from a loving family, was a basketball hoop and a bicycle. And I'll always remember that. But when children are younger, they don't necessarily remember all the Legos, the Barbie dolls, the comic books, the Tonka trucks. But this is something that's out there, and it's really there forever. On the design side, we recently went into a house where they have 4 children, and they were looking to build a really unique indoor basketball gym. So we put in a hardwood floor, and they wanted to have natural wood for the lines, which is usually you paint lines. So we basically glazed the court hardwood with the logo on the inside. And then rather than usually doing normal gym padding, we found padding not really used for gym to create a more upscale, stylish gym. So it would look something you might see like in a fancy hotel on the walls, but now you have a really nice glazed floor that's gray with natural wood accents for the lines, the 3-point line, the blocks where you line up for the free throw lines.
That's fantastic.
It's amazing. And last summer, we had a family that has 7 children. They own an ice cream shop in town where the 7 kids can gain business experience and learn and grow. And it's called 7 Scoops. So in their driveway, we painted a 2-tone gray backyard. We converted a driveway into a basketball court, but rather have it be a driveway that is a basketball court, we made it into arguably a basketball court that can also be used as a driveway. So we painted this court, we customized the pole pad, and then we painted a giant logo that's probably about 6 feet high and 6 feet wide that says 7 Scoops. So not only is it a branding opportunity for this business, but the business is really about the sense of family. So these 7 siblings are all tied together, and it's just a rallying point for the family. So for us, that was, super cool. It was very unique. All of our courts tell a story. So it's not what we're doing. It's really more important. Why are we doing it? We're doing a project for a church right now where there's a new priest that came in, and his focus is to build community. And the point of the court is really continuity through community, and the rallying term is journeying together. So we built a basketball court that's a hybrid full court basketball court, a hybrid half court basketball court on the side, which is a regulation half size. The smaller kids could run full court, and then we added volleyball lines. But when you step onto the court, the term journeying together is there. So the message is, although we're playing sports, we're all part of this one community, and this community is special. We do a lot of commercial schools, municipalities, but we started out with, my backyard sports, and my backyard, just as it doesn't refer to an individual backyard. My backyard is maybe the town I grew up in, that's in my backyard, the local community.
All of this, it sounds so custom too. So I want to talk for a minute about the sort of the franchise model, because I think it's so fascinating. So you guys start this. Obviously, you're having some success. Did you have in mind that you were going to franchise this at the outset, or was this something that, as often is the case in franchising, either a customer or somebody comes in and asks, "Hey, do you have other locations? Have you ever thought about franchising?" What kind of sparked that interest?
I've been an entrepreneur since college, and taking that entrepreneurial jump in college and then working in technology for many years, where we built an Inc. 5000 IT MSP, where we helped companies leverage technology. I knew that when we started this, if we had market traction, we wanted to create something that we can duplicate basically anywhere by leveraging technology, being more efficient, more productive, hopefully more profitable. And we've been able to do that. We also saw living right in, the New York tri-state area, that if we couldn't find what we needed here in New York, New Jersey, my sense was it really didn't exist elsewhere. Even buying a local hoop, the store you buy from doesn't necessarily install it from, and nobody tells you what hoop fits in what driveway. So we saw from the outset that this was something that we can duplicate, something that we would franchise, and something that would add value on the local level in every community.
And then because there is such a customizable part to this. So it seems to me, and correct me if I'm wrong, that, obviously it's always important who your franchisees are. But in this particular business, you guys are providing technology, you're providing best practices, you're providing support. But it seems to me that the type of franchisee you're probably looking for has got to meet certain criteria as well. Is that right?
There's two thoughts on who's the perfect avatar for a My Backyard Sports franchisee. The first is someone who has a background in operations and construction. But what we're finding is that if someone can operate a business and they could market, sell, speak, they're comfortable with the operational aspect, the construction aspect actually comes pretty easily. We have playbooks, build documents for each and everything that we build. And, the truth is, as you go through this, building a soccer field or a hybrid basketball, pickleball court, or a shuffleboard playing area, it's really not much different. You're building a foundation, and then on the top, you're adding in customization. So what's the difference between a basketball court and a tennis court? Generally just the lines. So once you're trained and you understand how to build this, it's something that's very repeatable, and you don't need to have a strong construction background to do this. I could tell you that I definitely wasn't very handy in the beginning, and we've created something that just works really well. And we've seen that with each of our franchisees so far. And because it's such a niche vertical, the local handyman, the local asphalt guy or concrete guy, they can't really do what we do. They may lay a driveway, but it's on an elevation. They're not building a court with the proper asphalt that's on the proper pitch for drainage, and then know which asphalt to build with, and then add in the lines afterwards. So we've been, very fortunate.
So obviously you started in New York. Are you guys still principally in New York in terms of other franchises, or where have you expanded out to at this point?
So we initially started in North Jersey, which basically covered different parts of the tri-state area. Last August of 21, we awarded a franchise in Austin, Texas, and they've been operating for about 5 months now. And for about 9 months now. And they're doing well. They're, growing their offerings, and they definitely are successful. They're, gaining new opportunities. They have a pipeline. They have a waiting period, and they're doing well. And we've recently announced a award of a franchise on Long Island, which is covering Nassau County. And we'll probably also work in Suffolk County. And we're in dialogue with multiple other locations to join what we're doing. What's really unique about us is that we're designing sports. Sports makes people happy. There's a sense of fulfillment when you finish each project. You're adding to a community. You're doing something that people will definitely remember. And on the local level, if you build this for a school or a church or a synagogue, you're really becoming part of that community. And there's a lot of meaning and pride in that. And the most interesting thing, and you really can't predict this, but when we finish a court, all of our staff takes out their cell phones and videotapes what they did that day, because they have the most cool job out of all of their friends.
Oh, I'm sure the social media is just phenomenal for that, right? I mean, taking those pictures and being able to share that.
It's definitely social media positive and social media friendly.
Well, what's the plans, for 2022 beyond? I mean, it's fascinating to me. I've worked in franchising for 17 years now, and literally, I can't tell you, Michael, just the number of different kinds of sports franchises that have popped up and continue to create, both in, not just in the fitness arena, but the basketball arena and so forth. Different from what you're doing, like you said, but there's obviously a great tie to sports for many, many people. There's obviously a great push as well, not just based on COVID in the past, but people are putting these kinds of experiences and entertainment centers in their homes, or outside of their homes. So what's the plan for you guys? How do you see 2022, 23 kind of shaping up in your perfect world?
Coming out of the post-COVID world, what we're seeing is a greater reliance on work from home, remote access, and virtual private networks. So people are spending more time at home, and home is really where the heart is. So I think that trend was developing for many years, and I think COVID sped that along. So we're looking to continue to capitalize on work from home. We've recently were named on the Inc. 5000 list as the number 559 fastest growing company in the country. Then last week, we were named on the Financial Times fastest growing company list in the Americas as number 90. And then today we were notified that we were on the entrepreneur list on the top 150, coolest new businesses. We were number 113.
That's great.
So I think the market is starting to tell our story. We definitely have awareness of how fast we're growing, and the projects that we're building and growing are expanding. So if initially we started doing, basketball courts, well, that expanded to tennis courts or hybrid pickleball courts, or a sport called padel, which is like junior tennis. It's like pickleball with 4 walls, like outdoor squash.
I've never seen that one.
It's exciting. I think in the future, it's something that everyone's going to see and have. I think there'll be padel courts everywhere. It's pronounced padel.
It's like pickleball, racquetball, tennis, all kind of in one. It sounds like.
All in one. And for our goals for 2022 is just to continue to get our name out there. As a company, we'll be attending more shows, getting involved in the broker networks on a deeper level. And we're going to have case studies to tell from our initial franchisees of, hopefully their initial success.
Well, I love that. And I hope to see you out at some of the shows coming up. But what a cool story. What a cool creative concept. There's lots of concepts in franchising. And that's one of the exciting things about the industry. If somebody's interested in learning more, what's the best place for them to go to find out more information?
The best place to go is either mybackyardsports.com or mybackyardsportsfranchise.com, and just connect with us through there. We're happy to talk about our business model and the requirements to move forward with us. Some of our advantages that we believe we're a low-cost model to get started with. We're not investing in real estate and building out space. And really, once you go through My Backyard Sports University and you're trained, you can really jump in and start working right away. So really what we're doing is very easy to duplicate within our model, our artificial intelligence. And currently we get calls from all over the country to service them, which, obviously we can't do. And that's why, we think there's a rich market for future franchisees.
Well, it sounds really exciting, and I'm really thrilled that you came on, and really interesting concept. Seems like you got good trajectory, and look forward to seeing where this thing goes over the next year or so and beyond.
Well, look, it's definitely our pleasure to learn more and see some of the projects we've worked on. When you go to My Backyard Sports, you could click on a gallery link and really see a lot of the before and after and how creative the projects are. And when you're done to close, we get calls from parents 2 years, 3 years later telling us how much it meant to their children, or the child made the team, or the child gained confidence and they learned the lessons of sports and were able to apply it to math, science, SATs, and, moving forward to the right college. So there's so much good that comes out of this. We get children off the screens, more playtime. Someone recently called us the Fortnite or anti-video game. And it's really just been an opportunity for kids to, stay healthy and learn certain lessons. And sports is a great connector of people.
Oh, I couldn't agree more. Yeah.
Everything we do is really meant to be positive. And we also believe My Backyard Sports is a platform to do good in communities. If we can share sports and make a difference, not just with our paid customers, but with causes and charities that could benefit from either donations or things that we build in the community, that's really what it's all about, because, sports is a great connector of people on a positive level.
Well, I love that you guys have focused on that. I mean, it's like, when you look at restaurants, which are obviously very common in franchising, the reality is the best ones are selling experiences too. I mean, when you're in business, you're selling some sort of a value-added experience. And of course, sports is a conduit. It's competitive. There's a competitive element to it. But it's also teaches kids and adults and everybody who participates all sorts of different skills that you can otherwise use in life and brings communities together. And so it hits all those things and gets them off the damn phones, right? I mean, that's actually a great attribute. So I like the way that you guys have thought about this, because I think it could have been very easy to just focus on, hey, we're going to set up just the coolest looking basketball rim or basket or tennis court. But really what you're saying is we're going to do all of that. It's going to be custom. It's going to be great. But really the end value is to bring about better experiences for you and your family and community. And I really think that's a fantastic way to approach it. So thank you for that, Michael.
Sure. And just to close, when you do that, you're really part of the community. It adds into a lot of referral business. And once you work with one customer, they may call you back to add in a different sport experience over time. So our goal is really to own the backyard and the sports experience, for a certain family over a period of time.
Well, be well. Thank you so much for coming on for a few minutes and sharing your story. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, Josh. It's an honor and pleasure to be here, and look forward to listening to many more of your podcasts in the future.
Thank you.
Take care.
Thank you so much for tuning into another episode of Franchise Euphoria. If you enjoyed it, please head over to Apple Podcasts and leave a rating and review. It really helps to get this show out to more and more people. Also, if you have any questions, have ideas for guests or topics, please email me, josh@indyfranchiselaw.com. That's josh@indyfranchiselaw.com. And finally, please note that this podcast is for entertainment and educational purposes and is not in any way, shape, or form meant to be any kind of legal advice. If you're seeking legal advice, please contact a lawyer. Have a great one. Happy franchising.